Welcome, bem-vindos. My name is Rodrigo Moura. I'm Chief Curator of El Museo del Barrio. Something beautiful, Reframing La Colección, is El Museo del Barrio's most ambitious presentation of its unique and culturally diverse permanent collection in over 2 decades. The exhibition is the result of a multi-year research initiative focused on re-evaluating El Museo del Barrio's holdings and creating new frameworks that foreground Puerto Rican, Latinx, Caribbean, and Latin American artistic production and identities. The title of the show draws from a work by artist Marcos Dimas. Layered with Taino-inspired imagery and a poem of the same name by Tanya Naomi Ramirez, the print celebrates and complicates cultural inheritances and places the Nuyorican perspective at the center of this exhibition.
Welcome, I'm Susanna Temkin, curator at El Museo del Barrio. Something Beautiful cuts across chronological, geographic, and media-specific categories, reconsidering the collection through new interdisciplinary approaches rooted in El Museo's decolonial history and legacy. Within this model, the contributions of Amerindian, African, and European presences, as well as other diasporic flows, are the basis of visual culture in the Americas and the Caribbean. Organized according to newly conceived typologies, the exhibition presents approximately 500 artworks through rotating displays that include recent acquisitions and commissions by artists Maria Gaspar and Glendalise Medina.
Welcome, I'm Lee Sessions, Permanent Collection Associate Curator. Thematic sections and artist spotlights challenge hegemonic art historical hierarchies by examining African heritages and indigenous knowledges, urban experiences, crafts and graphics, self-representation, and gender identities. While such approaches are now gaining attention across today's cultural landscape, they have been at the heart of El Museo del Barrio since its founding. More relevant than ever, these ambitions continue to inform the growth and interpretive reframing of the collection, as demonstrated in Something Beautiful. In this room, we've brought together some of the ancient forms, the Taino forms and materials that have been part of El Museo's collection since the beginning, and bringing those forms into conversation with artists who are looking at some of this imagery, some of these ideas, and really thinking about Taino culture as both continuous, as still existing, and as a living resource for artists in New York, across the Caribbean, and all the way through to today. Taino is a culture that's existed across the Caribbean for many thousands of years, that is still in existence, both in the Caribbean and in the diaspora. We have worked closely with a council of Taino elders in thinking about how best to present this material in a really respectful and welcoming and exciting way. In this room, we're looking at artists from the 60s to the present day who have been inspired by Taino imagery and references, with a focus on Talla Boricua, the really important workshop that was active in New York City. And we're excited to bring that material into conversation with the ancient forms again.
This section is titled Cosmic Visions and brings together both indigenous and non-indigenous identifying artists, evoking themes such as Amerindian mythologies, languages, and systems of thinking throughout their work.
This gallery celebrates the people and places of El Barrio. Through photographs, sculptures, and drawings, we feature over 100 years of life in El Museo del Barrio's neighborhood, celebrating the vernacular architecture, religions, games, dancing, as well as the vendors, in particular the piragua vendors, including the found sculpture to my right. The gallery also features a section entitled The Street Becomes, which addresses the street as a public site of protest, artistic performance, and cultural celebrations.
In this room, First Impressions, we're celebrating Puerto Rican printmaking beginning with the 1951 portfolio, La Estampa Puertorriqueña, created by the Centro de Arte Puertorriqueño, and which was one of the first kind of important donations to El Museo del Barrio's collection.
This gallery actually brings together a group of artists working with different strategies of representation and self-representation. So portraiture, which is an important central strategy of commemoration, memorialization, is expanded on the practices of these artists. And also in dialogue with this grouping of works, we have a beautiful wall titled after a diptych by a Chicana photographer, Laura Aguilar, where we examine different performativities of gender and how we are all performing gender at all times, including the artists.
Abstraccionistas features a collection of artworks by women artists ranging in media and aesthetic vocabulary. In this room, we see vessels by unidentified Shipibo Caniba artists, as well as Mola textiles, hard-edge paintings by Carmen Herrera and Fanny Sanin, and works by Gisela Colon and Marta Chilindron. The room argues for a women-centered art history, as depicted in the manifesto-like textile by Carolina Caicedo behind me, called Mujeres en Mí. This room also features two artist spotlights, one featuring instamatic photographs by Antonio Lopez, and the other featuring the prints and paintings of experimental Puerto Rican artist Mirna Baez.
My name is Maria Gaspar. I'm from Chicago. I'm an artist that is part of the exhibition, Something Beautiful, here at El Museo del Barrio. And for my exhibition called Force of Things, I'm presenting a series of projects that I've been developing over the last 12 years, which examines a place of incarceration in my neighborhood in Chicago called the Cook County Department of Corrections. And for this work, I'm presenting a video, a sculpture, and a series of photographs. And they're really all focused on the demolition of Division 1, which is the largest part of the jail. I've been casting in glass, photographing in 1-to-1 scale, different kinds of demolition debris, which includes jail bars made of iron, as well as bricks. And really, I'm looking at the relationship between a place of incarceration located at the center of a neighborhood in Chicago, and what that tension, what that relationship looks like.
Hi, I'm Glendalise Medina, and I'm an interdisciplinary artist, born in Puerto Rico and raised in the Bronx. And El Museo asked me to do a commission in relationship to their Taino collection. And I was drawn to the vomiting sticks as the initiation of the ritual called Cahoba. And then so for me, the querent or the visitor comes in through the doors, they initiate the ritual, they're in this space, this visual space. And then they meet Atabe, which is the mother goddess, and the mother goddess tells us that colonialism is coming, and the rest of the exhibition unfolds. And my process is a long-lasting process of trying to build a visual language to incorporate all my different identities, but not just my identities, but what it means to be Nuyorican, or what it means to be a hybrid identity, which is what it means to be American.